the kosher tourist back, and we're on the flight from Mexico City. Beautiful. Look at it. Look at the lights. Always kind of cool to look at. I didn't think there would be much to see at night. I have a window seat, and Baruch Hashem, you can't see. Let me see. I'm gonna get the light over here. There's no one next to me. So yeah, we had a couple of issues underway. First thing is that we got here, left the lounge a bit early at about 6:35. The flight was called for 7:15, and so the boarding would be starting around 6:30. So the coach tourist left the lounge a little just after Mincha, real quick. Got to the gate, and I basically sat there and stand in line for about half an hour, 40 minutes. And in that time, also on the way, I was going to the gate. One of the wheels popped off of the luggage, the carry-on. I knew should have replaced it from before. It was going to get fixed. It was actually broke on a trip from from Miami to Israel a couple of years ago, when the situation basically first started happening back in 2020. I went back, so I had to check the bag in because they had a lot of stuff in it. They broke the wheel and they reported it. Anyway, Kitzer. What's interesting now is that they asked me I should check my bag in. I'm like, why would I check my bag? Well, it was a whole bunch of regular thing. Finally, we did start boarding like maybe 5 minutes after the flight was to take off at 7:20. So to leave at 7:15. We didn't start boarding until at least 7:20, maybe a little bit afterwards. It's now 8:15, so an hour later we're just finally in the air. We just took off literally a few minutes ago. Anyway, so some of the other things that happened, the wheel broke. Then because the wheel broke and my luggage was not so stable, I was holding my bag. I was holding it back from the duty free, from I bought some mezcal bottles, kosher bottles, Baruch Hashem, and slipped out of my hand because it wasn't really tied properly. They put twist ties, I guess, because it's duty free. They don't want you to open it. I think the whole issue is they don't want you to open it on the plane, but no one really cared about that here. No one saw that I had it, so it wasn't really secured properly. They couldn't hold it by a handle. You got a better view over here. Since they couldn't hold it by a handle, it just kind of slipped and boom, hit the floor. It's a hard floor, and what happens? One of the bottles broke. I could smell the booze. I took the bottle out. Then I just dumped the whole bag because it already had like mezcal in the bag. So thankfully the other bottle was good. It didn't break. Baruch Hashem. So the cheaper bottle, still not that cheap, $38. Broke. $41 bottle didn't break. Yeah. Then I had this Mexican head that I bought. I think I showed. If I didn't, I'll show it later some other time. That thankfully didn't break. Then what else? Oh, when I was going through the boarding process, I gave my passport, and my boarding pass was on my phone. And the woman asked me for my paper, which I filled out before I left. Before I came in to the whole airport in the beginning. They gave me some papers to sign my name and asked the attestation that I don't have COVID and I took the test or whatever. Which is like, I don't stand. They already made me take the test and show proof that the test I'm negative. So I have to make I don't know. It might be a U.S. thing. Who knows? I just collected it, threw it in a bin. That was it. But then she tells me I need an immigration card. The thing I got 2 weeks ago. Thankfully, it was in my back pocket. But I didn't know, and I had a lot of papers in there. And Baruch Hashem, she was able to find it because I had no clue. Like, you guys never told me I need that thing, or that I need to present it to you. Like, why would you ask me to present it at the gate? That makes no sense. Maybe you should tell someone beforehand. Maybe it did have it on site. I don't know. I checked in. Whatever. I probably could have just skipped all the stuff in the beginning, but literally the process, again, like I said, was not that long, so that was fine. Then once I get past that, the gate agent, to go towards the airplane, some woman's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you have to check that in." Like, well, I wasn't really I was flustered. I wasn't really paying much attention. Like, what? So get the test in. I said you can only have 2 bags. I have 2 bags, backpack and a carry-on. So you have 3. I have a bag of food. Like, you guys don't give food. Even if you did give food, you're not giving to the kosher tourist food because they don't have kosher food. I have to do this 48 hours ahead of time. And when I called on the way here, they told me they don't have food because it's a short flight. It's an international flight, 3.5 hours. Actually, looks like it's 2.5 hours. Maybe it's a 3.5 hour total. I don't know, but they don't give food. So then they give snacks. And last time they only gave me some peanuts and what's it called that I could eat, like a drink. So of course the kosher tourist is gonna bring food. That's what most Jews do. They bring their own food. So how is that considered a bag? Anyway, the kosher tourist on the way down to the airplane, there was a long kind of ramp, a couple of ramps, and into the airplane. I just ripped off all the tags. I don't think they would have noticed it anyway. And and I put my bag in there. And she told me the reason why it's a full flight. As I showed you earlier, there's 2 empty seats next to me, and the one behind me, there's also 2 empty seats next to her. This ain't no full flight. I don't know. Really annoying. It's a shame that Air Mexico pulls such shtick. I don't know what the deal is. At least they didn't pull shtick and try to, because I think she was saying she had checked my bag. I mean, checked the weight, like it looked like it was too big, and I discussed it with my friend before I left. She said she never had a problem with Air Mexico checking the weights. This was the first time she said that this would have happened. So I don't know why they decided they wanted to try to mess with the kosher tourists. And I'm not wearing a capo, I'm wearing a baseball cap. So can't say it was that. I don't know what the deal was, but whatever. It's all good. Got it in here. Again, there's not a full flight. I don't know what they were talking about. There's plenty of seats open, and I'm just gonna try to enjoy the flight. Maybe take in some tunes. Maybe try to see if there's something kosher-wise on the movies. The movies that look kind of old anyway. I mean, a TV show and whatever. Be back in Miami a little bit later than I was expecting, and that's that. All right, Kosher Tours is out, and hope to see you in another adventure.